Good afternoon. Please, do you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So first of all, let me share my screen. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So again, it is an honor to be with my colleagues from different universities to exchange ideas about different topics. Yeah. So, my presentation is entitled One Size Does Not Fit All. Why does the language classroom entail a differentiated dashboard? So, by way of introduction, the 21st century educational landscape is characterized by unprecedented diversity in student populations and rapidly evolving societal demands. The traditional one size fits all model of instruction, rooted in the industrial era, is increasingly inadequate for fostering the skills necessary for modern global citizenship and a competitive workforce. Skills such as critical thinking, collaborative or collaboration, communication, and creativity, collectively known as the four C's, along with digital literacy, have become essential outcomes of effective education. This paper posits that differentiated instruction, DI, offers a viable and critical framework to meet these imperatives. DI is a pedagogical approach wherein teachers proactively adapt curriculum, teaching methods, and assessment to address the varied learning needs, interests, and readiness levels of learners. And this conceptual paper aims to synthesize existing literature to scrutinize the integral role of DI as a foundational structure for contemporary education, its alignment with the 21st century skill development, and the supporting role of technology. The theoretical framework, where we speak about the synergy of DI and 21st century skills. The foundational principles of DI are inherently aligned with the goals of 21st century education, as claimed before, by differentiating based on learner readiness, interest, and learner profile. Educators can create a more equitable and engaging environment where every learner can achieve their potential. And here we highlight two
Excuse
main
me, you have one
issues.
more minute. Please conclude your presentation.
One more minute, one.
Yes,
So,
we each have
okay,
5 minutes.
okay. So here we have to highlight two main issues, the I and the four C's, where we speak about critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. The second is the I and digital literacy, where we have to highlight the importance of content, process, and the product. About the methodology, of course, as claimed before, this is the conceptual synthesis methodology, where the findings where we found two main issues: the critical structure for equitable and inclusive classrooms, in addition to the implementation impediments, where we highlight the importance of a flexible grouping strategies, assessment, and particularly formative assessment and time management. To conclude, this paper concludes that differentiated instruction is not merely a pedagogical strategy, but a rudimentary framework for a paradigm shift in education. It provides the structural means to transition from a static industrial model of schooling to a dynamic student-centered system that is responsive to the demands of the 21st century. And thank you very much for being cooperative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. We will
Most
continue now with our next presenter, Assistant Lecturer Sundus Hatem Alwan, Ministry of Education, General Director of Education in Baghdad, Al Rusafa, First Co-Educational Institution of Fine Arts, Arabic. Ms. Sundus? Okay, I guess we're gonna continue on to our next presenter, and I am going to Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, great.
Yes, I see some people saying they can hear me. If you cannot hear me, please check your mic or. Okay, our next presenter, Assistant Lecturer Sindus Hatem Alwan, Ministry of Education General Director of Education in Baghdad, Al Rasafa First Co-Educational Institution of Fine Arts Arabic. Okay. Ms. Salima, your mic is on. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay, good morning, distinguished chair, respected colleagues, and honored guests. My name is Wala Jawad Al-Qasid, faculty member at University of Justice and Wisdom, USA, and doctoral student in educational leadership. Today, I'm pleased to present my conceptual research entitled The Knowledge Convergence Leadership Framework, KCLF, a new paradigm of integrating artificial intelligence, human-centered leadership, and interdisciplinary learning in 21st century education. The challenge. Educational institutions are experiencing rapid technological transformation due to advances in artificial intelligence. Many leadership models focus either on technology or on traditional leadership without integrating both. My study addresses the gap through a unified leadership framework, the KCLF framework. The framework consists of 5 dimensions: human-centered leadership, AI-enhanced decision-making, interdisciplinary collaboration, ethical knowledge integration, and sustainable innovation. Why KCLF matters? KCLF helps educational leaders integrate artificial intelligence with human values, improve collaboration, support ethical decision-making, and prepare institutions for future challenges. Conclusion. KCLF, in conclusion, the knowledge convergence leadership framework provides a practical vision for educational leadership in the AI era. Thank you very much for your attention. I welcome your questions if you have any questions for me.
So, did you have any findings for what your study entails?
That's the limitation of the study. It's still conceptual. It needs to be more research needs to be done, that will be qualitative and quantitative studies to prove or disapprove my model. Thank you for your question. Okay. We are going to continue on to our next presenter.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Luar Hasina from Algeria. I start? Can I start?
Dr. I have Dr. Abdullah.
Yes, Abdul. So, good afternoon. Good afternoon, colleagues. Welcome to today's 3rd session in this international conference. It's Luar Hasina and Abdul Hafid Taibi with you. Our title is Remapping Translation Field, a starting point towards a target-oriented process. In our work, we are talking about the legacy of James Holmes, the American-Dutch translation scholar, to translation studies. So the realm of translation has undergone a profound evolution since antiquity, shifting from a purely brutal practice to a complex, multidisciplinary field informed by theory, technology, and cultural sensitivity. Thus, the focus of translation theory is shifting from a prescriptive approach to a descriptive one. The prescriptive approach established a set of rules, norms, and guidelines that a translator should or must follow. It was concerned with defining what constituted a good or correct translation, often based on a specific ideology or theory of equivalence. Describing the previous theories as a prolegomena to a general translation theory, James Holmes proposed a new name for the field. His lecture entitled The Name and Nature of Translation Studies, first presented in 1972, is widely considered the founding statement for the field of translation studies as a distinct academic discipline. Naming this a new field was a crucial act for the discipline's identity, so he gave the field the standardized name, Translation Studies, using a map which divides the field into two main branches, pure and applied studies. According to Snell-Holby, the keywords are descriptive, target-oriented, functional, and systemic, particularly as they were diametrically opposed to the dogmas on the translation of the time, which, as the domain of the translator training institutes, were essentially prescriptive, source text-oriented. So, during that period, the translation has truly witnessed a change of paradigm with the emergence of two schools: the manipulation school, which was interested in the literary translation with writings in English on the one hand, and functional school, which was stimulated by Hans Vermeer, writing mainly in German on the other hand. The manipulation school is not a single unified theory, but rather a descriptive and target-oriented approach to translation. Its core premise is that all translation involves a degree of manipulation of the source text to make it fit into the receiving culture and literature. Holmes' group, as clarified by Theo Hermans, was a geographically scattered collection of individuals with widely varying interests. We can cite André Lefebvre and Susan Bassett with their theory of translation as a writing act, Itamar Ibn Zohar and his polysystem theory, Gideon Toury, who pioneered descriptive translation studies, Theo Hermans being the first to give the school the name of manipulation through his seminal book labeled The Manipulation of Literature, first published in 1985. Functional school in translation, as argued by Christian Nord, functionalist approaches through on practical experience of the translation profession. They are not just descriptive. They do not merely describe what can be observed in the process of translation or the results of this process. There are many functional theories in translation, such as corpus theory developed by Hans Vermeer and Katharina Reis. The core principle of Vermeer's theory is that the translation's method and strategy are determined by the intended purpose or function in the target culture, not by strict equivalence to the source text. Actional theory developed by the German Gustav Monterey. This theory views social action as the primary unit of analysis for understanding society. It emphasizes that individuals are active agents who shape social structures through their actions. As a conclusion, we can say that Holmes' map was also the starting point for many paradigms and turns in translation. Subsequent to Holmes' map, we can now discuss how culture, society, and technological evolution influence the translation process. Thank you for your listening, and merci.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you. We're going to continue on to our next presenter, Adian Abdul Hamid Mohammed, Assistant Professor.
Yes. Do you have my voice?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.